Hello, family. Good morning. It is 3:23 a.m. Accra, Ghana time, and I want to welcome you to the Glory Zone. Um, Earlier today, I released my introduction video to this channel, the Glory Zone, and there was a question asked in the video. One that King Nebuchadnezzar at Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego when they would not bow to a golden statue that he had built in his glory and in his honor. And so we're gonna just get right into the word, right into the word. But the question that was asked was, and who is the mighty one who delivers you from my hand? And I said that I had been praying and asking Yahuwah, what will I speak about in my first videos? And he told me to go to Daniel. And so I went to Daniel and I actually read Daniel 1, Daniel chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. And chapter 2 gives you the foundation of what happened, the interpretation of the dream. And Nebuchadnezzar was having dreams and he could not sleep. And he called for he gave orders to call the magicians and the astrologers and the practicers of witchcraft and the Chaldeans to declare to the sovereign his dreams. So they came and stood before the sovereign. But when they came and stood before him, they could not interpret this dream. And so they wanted to be slick and cunning and just tell him that, hey, give us the dream and we'll give you interpretation. But he said, no. He said, you can give me any interpretation. So I want you to tell me the dream that I had. Then give me the interpretation. So none of them could. And they said, oh, you have asked a difficult thing. And so after this, King Nebuchadnezzar sent out a decree that all the wise men should be killed and murdered who did not, who could not interpret the dream. So Daniel heard, one of the three Hebrew boys, Daniel heard of this decree. And he said that he would pray and ask Yahuwah to give him, Elohim to give him in, the dream and the interpretation. And by grace, he did. So Daniel came before Nebuchadnezzar and gave him the dream and the interpretation. So I want to read second, and let me start by first saying that this what Yah showed me about the governance of this world and these secret societies and forums, that they are modern day King Nebuchadnezzars. And they are building a beast system, and they have so many agendas of fear and of worry, that has brought people to fear and to worry. And these are rich people. Most of these people, they have money. There's no want. They're like mad scientists with money and just want to do whatever they can to destroy the lives of others and to preserve themselves. And honestly, in light, according to the word, there's no preservance for the wicked. And so you have people literally meeting, setting goals to depopulate the earth by 50% by 2023. Playing gods with people's lives and their livelihoods. Bringing forth a beast system that if we don't bow to it, then they're like, there's no hope for them. We the rich, we the rulers. Ain't no hope for them. But I beg to differ. I beg the difference. There is hope. And I want to answer the question that these modern Nebuchadnezzars want an answer to, or feel like there's no answer to it. And who is this mighty one who delivers you from my hand? So we're going to read Daniel chapter 3, verse 37. And this is what Daniel says to King Nebuchadnezzar in 37. You, O sovereign, are a sovereign of sovereigns, for the Elah of the Shemayim, which is heaven, has given you a reign, power, and strength, and esteem. And wherever the children of men dwell are the beasts of the field and the birds of the Shemayim. He has given them into your hand and has made you ruler over them all. You are the head of gold. You understand me? And after you rises up another reign lower than yours, and another third reign of bronze that rules over all the earth. And the fourth reign is as strong as iron, because iron crushes and shatters all. So like the iron breaks in pieces, it crushes and breaks all. Yet as you saw the feet and toes, partly of potter's clay and partly of iron, and the reins is to be divided, but some of the strength of the iron is to be in it, because you saw the iron mixed with muddy clay. And as the toes of the feet were partly of iron, partly of clay, so the rein is partly strong and partly brittle. The rein is partly strong and partly brittle. Pay attention now. And as the toes of the feet were partly of iron and partly of clay, so the rein is partly strong and partly brittle. And as you saw iron mixed with muddy clay, they are mixing themselves with the seed of men, but they are not clinging to each other, even as iron does not mix with clay. And in the days of these sovereigns, the Elah of the Shemayim shall appoint a reign which shall never be destroyed, nor the rain pass on to other people. It crushes and puts to the end all these reigns, and it shall stand forever. So Yah is gonna put a stop to all these governments, all these reigns, and it shall stand forever. But look at King Nebuchadnezzar. This is not the. Look at it. Look at him now. After he gets the word that he didn't even pay attention that the esteem and the power and the strength that had been given, it said that Yah Elohim gave it to him. And so he was so caught up in this esteem and caught up in this arrogancy of him being the head of gold, he missed that even that gold was destroyed among the other governors. He ain't paying no attention to that. So in chapter 3, now this is where we get to the meats. Nebuchadnezzar, we're starting off in chapter 3, verse 1. It says, Nebuchadnezzar the sovereign made an image of gold. Watch the numbers of the heights. Nebuchadnezzar the sovereign made an image of gold, whose height was 60 amma, and its width was 6 amma. And so, and I'm reading from the Hallelujah Scriptures, not the King James Version of the Bible. And it says, he put it up in the plain of Dura in the province of Babel. This is verse 1. Verse 2, and sovereign Nebuchadnezzar sent word to gather together the viceroys, the nobles, and the governors, the counselors. Look at the people who are invited to this party now. Look at it. And the governors, the counselors, the treasurers, the judges, the magistrates, and all the officials of the provinces to come to the dedication of the image which sovereign Nebuchadnezzar had put up. Verse 3, then the viceroys, the noble, the governors, the counselors, the treasurers, the judges, the magistrates, and all the officials of the provinces gathered together for the dedication of the image that sovereign Nebuchadnezzar had put up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had put up. Then a herald loudly proclaimed, to you it is commanded, O peoples, nations, and languages, that as soon as you hear the sound of the horn, the flute, the zither, the lyre, the harp, the pipes, and all kinds of instruments, you shall fall down and do obeisance to the gold image the sovereign Nebuchadnezzar has put up. And whoever does not fall down and do obeisance is immediately thrown into the midst of a burning furnace or fire. Verse 7. So as soon as all the people heard the sound of the horn, the flute, the zither, the lyre, the harp, all kinds of instruments, all the people, nations, and languages fell down and did obeisance to the gold image that sovereign Nebuchadnezzar had put up. Thereupon, verse 8, at that time certain Chazdites came forward and accused the Yehudim. They spoke and said to sovereign Nebuchadnezzar, O sovereign, live forever. You, O sovereign, have made a decree that everyone who hears the sound of the horn, the flute, the zither, the lyre, the harp, the pipes, and all kinds of instruments shall fall down and do obeisance to the gold image. And whoever does not fall down and do obeisance is thrown into the midst of a burning furnace of fire. There are certain Yehudim who you have appointed over the work of the province of Babel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O sovereign, pay no heed to you, and they are not doing obeisance to the gold image which you have put up. 13. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in rage and wrath, gave orders to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the sovereign. 14. Nebuchadnezzar spoke and said to them, is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you do not serve my mighty ones, and you do not do obeisance to the gold image which I have put up? Look at that word, I. So much arrogance. Now, if you are ready when you hear the sound of the horn, the flute, the zither, the lyre, the harp, the pipes, and all kinds of instruments, and you fall down and do obeisance to the image which I have made good, But if you do not do obeisance, you are immediately thrown into the midst of a burning furnace of fire. And who is this mighty one who delivers you from my hand? Who is this mighty one? Who is this mighty one? Who is this mighty one who would deliver us from this the hands of the wickedness that these governs, these judges, our senators, our mayors, the World Economic Forum, these secret societies, who would deliver us from their hands? Who? Let me answer that for you. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the sovereign, O Nebuchadnezzar, we have no need to answer you in this matter. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego with that confidence that they didn't even argue. They didn't even sweat. They wasn't even bothered about it. Do you hear their response? When you hear all this noise of war, of death, of gloom, of hunger, of lack, of innocent bloodshed, will you bow? Will you bow? When you bow, when you out of lights, all these outages have started. It was just one in Canada. Everything out. They couldn't use the phone, couldn't call 911, couldn't do anything. It's coming. It's here. Electromagnetic pulse all over. They cannot reset this world to a new world order without it. Without shutting the grid totally down. So that's enough of all these rumors of wars, all this violence. Every time you look around, a mass shooting, some real, some just creating fear and deception, some lies. Okay. So who? Listen to their response, and I want to read it again because it's so awesome. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the sovereign, O Nebuchadnezzar, we have no need to answer you in this matter. They are confident in who is truly the El, who is truly in control, who is truly all powerful. Somebody give glory and honor to Yahuwah. Somebody give glory and honor to Yahuwah. I want to have that confidence that no matter what comes this way, the great famine, whatever, because I am a child of Yah, I can have this type of confidence like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego had. You already know what our Yah can do. This the same Yah. This the same Yah that just revealed your dream. Just interpret it. The same one. And yet you ask us who will deliver us. We're not even going to argue with you. We're not even going to entertain. We're not even going to entertain it. So that's how they respond. So that's in verse 16. So verse 17. For if so, our Elah, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning furnace of fire. This world is burning with fury, with fear, with lack, with wickedness, with lies, with deception, with abominations. This today's society is way worse off than Sodom and Gomorrah. We pass. You would never thought that a world could be as wicked as Sodom and Gomorrah. Then not only that, Sodom and Gomorrah, for that very reason, they were destroyed. And you would think people would look and say, okay, let's try to make the world a better place. But no. Hell keep enlarging itself, and the wicked powers are growing stronger every day. And who's standing in this time? And who's standing in this time in the day like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Who's standing for Eli? Who's standing for Elohim? That I know no matter what comes my way, no matter what their world ends up, no matter how much power they think they got, there's nothing they can do. They cannot contend with the all-powerful, almighty Yahuwah and his son, Yeshua HaMashiach. They are no match. So, for if so, Eli, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning furnace of fire, and from your hand, O sovereign, he delivers. Listen to 17 again. For if so, our Eli, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning furnace of fire, and from your hand, O sovereign, he delivers. He delivers people. So to all those governors who think there will be no one to deliver us from their hand, from their plagues, this is the answer right here. But listen to 18. But if not, let it be known to you, O sovereign, that we do not serve your mighty ones, nor do we do obeisance to the gold image which you have put up. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego said no. We will not conform to this world. We will not serve your gods. We will not serve your mighty ones, even in the midst of a burning furnace. Even with the threat of being thrown in a fiery furnace. Even with the threats of being hungry. Even with the threats of being without a job. Even with the threats of being without a bank account. Being without money. I'm telling you, people, even at that threat, if you truly belong to Yahuwah, you have no worries. You have no worries. You have no worries. You have no worries like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So rest assured in that. Read your word. Stay positive. Pray. Decree and declare the word over your lives. Most of all, walk obedient. Be willing in a time like this to stand up for who you serve and who you belong to. Be prepared for what is coming. Don't be caught off guard. Don't be fearful. Fret not. Though the righteous are afflicted much, Yahuwah truly delivers us from all our troubles. So this is how we will end this tonight. I will come and give the second part when Yahuwah gives the grace. But for now, we have nothing to worry about. We have no need to answer you in this matter. For if so, our Eli, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning furnace of fire, and from your hand, O sovereign, he delivers. He delivers people. He delivers. And he will deliver us out of all our troubles when we belong to him. So I love you. Yah bless you. May he keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you. Until next time.